Does getting rich easily lead to bad habits? This is not a simple question, but it contains interesting pieces of life. When money appears, sometimes it brings with it irresistible temptations. Have we ever wondered if wealth can change human nature? Do rich people often face their own challenges and pressures from society? Or is it the abundance that causes them to lose their core values? The story of wealth and the bad habits that come with it is always a hot, attractive, and philosophical topic. 1. The phenomenon of personality change when getting rich. Many people, when they become rich, suddenly change their personality. They easily indulge in parties, gambling, and lavish, wasteful lives. They often lose the core values that they used to respect. This ignorance in life not only affects them, but also causes serious consequences for their families. Marriages break up. Children become prodigal and lose their way. Their reputations and lives can be destroyed just because of wrong decisions in this decadent era. When they have lost everything, they often realize that wealth is not the most precious thing, but family and sincere relationships. 2. Story in the Samyutta Nikaya, King Prasenajit often thought about people who own property and profits, but are often dissolute and indulge in a luxurious life. Realizing the negative effects of this on society and himself, the king decided to go to see the Buddha to express this thought. During the meeting, the king expressed his concerns about how many people cannot maintain prosperity without falling into greed. The Buddha confirmed the king's thoughts and explained that very few people are able to maintain their wealth without being tempted by temporary pleasures. Those who are negligent and create evil deeds will have to endure long-term suffering, not only for themselves but also for those around them. This story emphasizes that wisdom and the spirit of practice are the keys to overcoming the temptations of life. 3. Comparison with the hunter. The hunter goes out every day with hunting tools in hand, sneaking into the deep forest to look for prey. Sharp traps, pointed arrows are drawn without mercy, just waiting for the opportunity to pierce the bodies of innocent creatures. When captured, animals scream in fear. In extreme pain, they struggle but cannot escape their fate. The hunter, while chasing the animal, does not think about the consequences or the suffering of the animal, only knowing the temporary joy of capturing. Similarly, the greedy person is no different from the hunter. They run after material things, benefits, regardless of everything to achieve what they want, whether it is money, fame, or wealth. Their crazy greed blinds them, making them no longer aware of moral values or love for others. As a result, both the hunter and the greedy person fall into a spiral of suffering, with no way out. They are bound by their own actions and thoughts, unable to find true peace or happiness. In the end, what they receive is only persistent suffering, lasting forever without any benefit, neither in this life nor the next. 4. The Buddha's verse. The Buddha once taught that greed for material things is one of the main causes that leads people to the path of delusion and suffering. When we are immersed in greed, we easily lose control, no longer being alert to distinguish right from wrong. Greed leads to infatuation, frenzy, causing people to go astray, no longer knowing morality and reason. They become blind, not hesitating to commit acts that harm others just to satisfy their greed. Not only that, indulgence, a loose, unmindful lifestyle, will cause people to slide into mistakes. When the mind is not controlled, greed will continue to develop, and people will increasingly stray from the right path. The result of greed and indulgence is not only mental suffering in the present, but also serious consequences in the future. They will have to suffer great retribution, not only in this life, but also in many future lives. Actions driven by greed and indulgence will create bad karma, leading to persistent suffering, which cannot be liberated if one does not return to mindfulness and compassion. 5. The meaning of property and virtue. In modern society, the concept of property and virtue has become more important than ever. Money is not simply a means of exchange. It is also a manifestation of the virtue that each person has accumulated in life. To use money effectively, one must know how to spend it wisely, ensuring health and happiness for oneself and one's family. A happy life does not only depend on the amount of money in one's account, but also on how one uses those assets. People with virtue will often have a lot of luck, and this virtue will create opportunities and fortune for them. Abundance in life does not only come from earning a lot of money, but also from living a meaningful life, knowing how to share and help others. If we only accumulate wealth without merit, that wealth will quickly disappear or bring unnecessary troubles. Therefore, building merit is necessary not only for ourselves, but also for future generations, helping to make life more meaningful and better. 6. Dividing assets according to Buddha's instructions. Buddha has pointed out clear principles on how to divide assets to create balance in life. First, a portion of assets should be reserved for daily expenses to ensure that we can live a comfortable life without worrying about essential needs. This portion includes not only expenses for food, housing, but also for education and personal development. Next, saving for emergencies is extremely important. Life is full of surprises, and having a reserve fund will help us deal with difficult situations such as illness or accidents without being too financially affected. Furthermore, a portion of assets should also be invested in business. This not only helps us grow our personal assets, but also creates jobs for others in the community. This not only brings personal benefits, but also contributes to the overall economic development. Finally, a portion of assets should be used to serve our parents, do charity, and make offerings. This action shows gratitude to those who have raised and supported us in life. In addition, giving alms and offerings not only bring joy to the recipient, but also create merit for ourselves. A fair division of assets not only brings personal prosperity, but also contributes to building a better society where people support and help each other. That is how we can create balance in life and enhance our self-worth. 7. Encouraging conscious consumption. Encouraging conscious consumption is not only a necessary task, but also an essential requirement in modern society, where economic development and consumption of goods take place at a dizzying pace. When we consider how to consume assets, it is important to understand that every decision carries responsibility. Consuming assets properly is not simply a matter of choosing products or services, but also involves assessing their impact on the environment, public health, and the future of future generations. We need to be aware that the abuse of natural resources and consumer products can lead to serious consequences such as environmental pollution, land degradation, and climate change. To truly consume wisely, we first need to identify what is a real need and what is a temporary desire. When we know how to distinguish between necessities and luxuries, we not only save money but also reduce the pressure on natural resources. Avoiding indulgence and greed is an indispensable part of building consumer wisdom. Greed, the constant satisfaction with what we do not really need, leads to suffering. It not only makes us feel deprived, but also creates unnecessary psychological stress. On the contrary, a peaceful and calm mind will help us see life more clearly. When we understand the value of what we have, we will no longer feel deprived or demand more. Building conscious consumption habits not only brings satisfaction but also leads to peace of mind. Furthermore, to encourage consumer wisdom, we also need to consider the role of education and information. Knowledge about personal finance, sustainability, and social responsibility should be equipped for the younger generations from an early age. We should create educational programs to raise awareness about smart and sustainable consumption, helping them better understand the impact of each consumption decision. Finally, remember that smart consumption does not only start with big actions, but also with small habits in daily life. We can start by choosing local products, limiting the use of plastic, or simply reusing and recycling. These choices not only help save money, but also contribute to protecting the environment and building a sustainable society. Take action today to make a difference for yourself and for the world around you. Thank you for watching and accompanying us on the journey to discover the hidden corners of wealth. Hopefully, today's sharing has helped you have more profound thoughts about life. If you find this content useful, do not hesitate to leave a comment below. Let us know your opinion and share your own stories. Don't forget to like this video if you find it interesting and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next interesting content. We look forward to receiving your support to build an increasingly strong community together.